Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into a company called Inovexus.
Okay.
And uh, they're doing some pretty interesting things in the venture capital world.
Right.
They're not exactly a typical VC fund, though.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not a traditional fund.
Yeah, I think more like a community or a platform built to help accelerate startups.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And one of the things that really caught my eye was their model, where investors get to pick and choose the startups they back,
Yeah.
rather than just throwing money into some big old blind pool fund.
Uh-huh.
But here's the kicker. They have a 90% success rate
That's incredible.
with their startups,
Yeah, it's way above the average.
which is,
You don't see that very often.
yeah. So what's the secret sauce? What are they doing differently?
Well, I think a big part of it is that Inovexus isn't just about the funding.
Right.
They've created this whole ecosystem where startups get a ton of support.
Okay.
You know, they've got mentorship from experienced entrepreneurs. They have workshops to help founders, kind of sharpen their business skills. And they even host demo days to connect them with investors.
So they're really going beyond just, cutting a check.
Yeah, exactly. They're really invested in the success of their startups.
Gotcha. So they're kind of shaking things up on both sides of the equation, right?
Yeah.
They're helping startups, and they're also opening up investment to a wider group of people.
Mm-hmm. Making it more accessible.
Okay, I like it. So let's break this down a little bit.
Sure.
What does Inovexus actually do? What are their main offerings?
So they have two main things going on.
Okay.
One is an acceleration program for startups,
Nah.
and the other is the Deal Club, which is a platform that connects these vetted startups with investors from all over the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So one side is kind of like getting startups ready,
Yeah, prepping them for success.
and the other side is curating these investment opportunities.
Exactly.
That's smart. All right, so tell me more about this acceleration program.
Okay.
What makes it so unique?
Well, think of it like a 6-month intensive boot camp for startups.
Okay.
They get access to over 170 mentors
Whoa.
who are all, seasoned entrepreneurs themselves.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and these mentors provide guidance and support
Okay.
that's tailored to each startup's specific needs.
So it's not just like general advice, it's really hands-on help.
Exactly. They're getting advice from people who've been there, done that.
170 mentors. That's a pretty impressive resource.
It is.
I mean, no wonder their startups have such a high success rate.
Yeah.
But mentorship's just one part of it, right?
Right.
What else is included in the program?
So they also have workshops on all sorts of things.
Okay.
Fundraising, marketing, product development, legal issues, the whole 9 yards.
They cover it all.
Yeah. And then they have those demo days I mentioned,
Right?
where the startups can pitch to investors.
Okay.
And, going back to that 90% success rate,
Yeah.
a lot of those successful startups end up operating internationally, which just shows how effective the program is at getting them ready for the global market.
So they're not just helping these startups survive.
Nope.
They're helping them really thrive on a global scale.
Exactly. That's the goal.
That's amazing.
Oh,
All right, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the investors.
okay.
Tell me about this deal club.
All right.
How does that work?
So the Deal Club, it's kind of like a VIP club
Okay.
for investors who are really into B2B tech startups.
Ah.
Inovexus vets thousands of deals every year,
Oh, wow.
but they only pick around 30 to feature on the platform.
So they're doing all that due diligence for the investors.
Yeah, they're filtering out all the noise
Right.
and presenting these investors with a curated selection of high potential startups.
Okay, so they're taking care of all the legwork
Mm-hmm.
and just giving investors the best of the best.
Exactly.
That's a pretty sweet deal for investors.
It is.
So what's the average investment per deal?
It's around $150,000.
Yeah.
Which, might be more manageable for some investors than the huge amounts required by traditional VC funds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And there's no membership fee to join the Deal Club.
Oh, wow.
Investors only pay a 6% fee when they set up something called a special purpose vehicle.
Hold on, SPV.
Yeah.
You had to break that down for me.
Yeah, of course.
Not all of us are fluent in VC lingo.
Right. So an SPV, it's basically a separate legal entity that's created specifically for an investment.
Okay.
It allows a bunch of investors to pool their money together and invest in a startup as a group,
Okay.
and it also limits their liability.
So it makes it easier for people to invest together, even if they're putting in different amounts.
Exactly.
And it simplifies the whole process.
Yeah, it streamlines things.
Okay. I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
You've got the startups getting this intensive support.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got the investors getting access to these curated opportunities.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
So let's talk about the stakeholders a bit more
Okay,
and how they each benefit from this model.
sure.
Let's start with the startups.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like they're getting a pretty amazing deal here.
Yeah, for startups, Inovexus is like hitting the jackpot.
Yeah.
They're not just getting funding, they're getting this comprehensive support system
Right?
with the mentorship, the workshops, the connections.
So they're getting a roadmap to success, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's clearly working.
Yeah. I mean, the 90% success rate speaks for itself.
It does.
And so many of them
Yeah.
are expanding internationally.
Yeah.
It's incredible. All right. So it's not just about the startups, though.
Right.
The mentors are a big part of this, too.
Definitely mentorship is really at the heart of the Inovexus model.
Right.
And what's interesting is that the mentors benefit as well.
Oh, how so?
Well, they get to work with these promising young companies.
Mhm.
They get to share their expertise.
Okay.
And they stay connected to what's happening in the world of innovation.
So it's a way for them to give back
Yeah.
and kind of stay sharp?
Exactly. And you never know. They might just discover the next big thing before anyone else.
Well, that's a good point. Okay. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Mm-hmm. A mutually beneficial relationship.
But let's not forget about the investors.
Of course not.
What's in it for them?
Well, for investors, Inovexus provides access to this carefully curated deal flow
Yeah.
of rigorously vetted startups.
So they don't have to waste time sifting through tons of pitches.
Exactly. They can focus on evaluating those opportunities that have already passed a strict screening process.
So it's about efficiency
Yeah.
and reducing risk,
Uh-huh.
but it's also about more than just the financial returns.
You're right. I think a lot of investors, particularly those who are drawn to Inovexus, are looking for something more than just profit.
Okay.
They want to be actively involved in shaping the future. They want to support companies that align with their values
Okay.
and potentially, make a positive impact on the world.
So it's a way for them to invest with their heart as well as their head.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
to align their investments with their passions.
I like it. All right. So it seems like Inovexus has created this win-win-win situation for everyone.
It really does.
Startups get support.
Yeah.
Mentors get to give back.
Mhm.
Investors get access to amazing opportunities.
And everyone benefits from each other's success.
Okay, we've laid some groundwork here.
We have.
We've talked about the key players and how they benefit.
Right.
So in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to delve into how Inovexus makes money.
Okay.
And we'll explore the future of this whole innovative venture capital model.
Sounds good.
We've been talking about all these amazing benefits Inovexus offers
Yeah.
for startups and investors, but how does Inovexus itself make money?
Right.
It seems like they're giving away so much value.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about their business model. How do they keep the lights on?
Well, their model's actually pretty clever
Oh.
and sustainable.
Yeah.
It's built on a couple of key revenue streams.
Okay.
So first, each startup that joins the acceleration program, they pay a fee of €35,000.
Okay.
And this gives Inovexus a steady flow of income
Right.
and helps cover the costs of running the program.
Derek?
And then on the investor side, when investors use the Deal Club platform
Yeah.
to invest in a startup, Inovexus takes a 6% fee on the setup of that SPV.
Okay, so they're generating revenue from both sides of the equation,
Exactly.
startups and investors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty balanced approach.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not just about the money, though, right?
Right.
We talked about their community-based approach.
Yeah.
How does that play into their business model?
Well, I think the community aspect is actually crucial to their success.
Okay.
Think about it as Inovexus helps startups achieve success.
Uh-huh.
It attracts even more startups to the program.
Right.
And as investors see these success stories,
Yeah.
they're more likely to join the Deal Club and invest more.
So it's like a virtuous cycle.
Exactly. Success breeds success.
Yeah, like a snowball effect.
Mm-hmm.
The more it rolls, the bigger it gets.
Yeah. And this whole community-driven approach aligns with their mission to democratize early-stage investing
Right.
by making it easier for a wider range of investors to get involved.
Yeah.
They're increasing the pool of capital that's available to startups.
Oh.
And ultimately, that just fuels more innovation.
I see the bigger picture now.
Good.
So let's talk about the types of investors Inovexus attracts.
Sure.
We mentioned business angels earlier.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think this model might be particularly appealing to them?
Well, business angels, they tend to be drawn to early-stage companies.
Right.
They're comfortable taking risks on promising startups. but they also want to be actively involved in those companies' growth.
So it's not just about writing a check and walking away.
No, they want to be hands-on,
Okay.
provide mentorship guidance, make connections.
So it's a perfect fit for Inovexus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've already done the vetting.
Uh-huh.
The business angels can save a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
and energy on due diligence.
They can really focus on the companies that excite them.
All right, so it's a match made in heaven.
It seems like it.
But Inovexus isn't just for individual investors, right?
Right.
What about family offices?
Yeah.
How does their model appeal to that segment?
Well, family offices are often looking for ways to diversify their portfolios and create a lasting legacy.
Okay.
And investing in innovative startups through Inovexus allows them to do both.
Right.
They get access to this curated deal flow of high-growth companies, often in cutting-edge sectors that align with their values and long-term vision.
So it's about more than just financial returns.
It is.
It's about investing in the future and aligning their investments with their overall goals.
Exactly. And I think the community aspect of Inovexus can be really appealing to family offices.
Okay.
They often appreciate the opportunity to connect with other like-minded investors, share insights, and learn from each other's experiences.
So it's like joining a club where they can not only invest, but also expand their network and tap into this collective pool of knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about business angels.
Yeah.
We've talked about family offices.
Uh-huh.
But let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
Look at the bigger picture.
All right.
Do you think Inovexus's model could disrupt the traditional venture capital landscape?
I think Inovexus is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
They're challenging the status quo by making early-stage investing more accessible, more transparent, and more community-driven.
Yeah.
And their success so far suggests that this approach is really resonating with both startups and investors.
So they're not just playing the game, they're changing the rules.
They are.
And their impact could extend far beyond the companies they directly support.
Absolutely. I mean, Inovexus is paving the way for a whole new generation of investors and entrepreneurs, particularly those who may have been excluded from those traditional VC networks by democratizing access to capital and providing this supportive ecosystem. They're helping to level the playing field and create more opportunities for innovation to flourish.
That's a pretty compelling argument.
Yeah.
So they're not just building a company.
No.
They're building a movement.
That's a good way to put it.
It's exciting to see how their model is evolving.
It is.
And I'm really curious to hear about their plans for the future.
Well, they have hinted at some pretty ambitious goals.
Oh, okay.
So in the final part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we'll examine those expansion plans,
Okay.
their vision for the future of venture capital,
All right.
and what it all means for those who want to be part of this revolution.
I am definitely intrigued.
Good.
Stay tuned, folks, as we wrap up our exploration of Inovexus
Okay.
and consider the potential impact of their community-driven model on the world of startups and venture capital. So we've talked about how Inovexus works.
Yeah.
And the impact they're having on startups and investors.
Right.
But what's next for them? What does the future hold?
Well, they've definitely got some ambitious plans.
Okay.
They really want to become a global force in venture capital.
Makes sense.
One of their big focuses is expanding into new regions,
Okay, like where?
particularly Asia.
Asia. Okay.
They see a ton of potential there. Lots of growth.
Right.
Vibrant startup ecosystems.
Right.
Countries like Japan, Korea, Singapore.
So they're taking their model global.
Exactly. Connecting with a whole new wave of entrepreneurs and investors.
Yeah, Asia's definitely a hotbed of innovation right now.
It is.
So it seems like a natural fit for Inovexus's approach.
It does.
But geographic expansion is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Right.
What else are they working on?
Well, one of the most interesting things is this community acceleration fund they're developing.
Okay, remind me what that is again?
So it allows investors to spread their investments across a bunch of Inovexus-backed startups.
So diversification.
Exactly. It helps boost potential returns.
Right.
And it reduces risk.
Okay, but how is it different from a traditional fund?
It's the level of engagement.
Right.
Investors aren't just passive. They can connect with the startups.
Oh, okay.
Mentor them.
Right.
Use their networks to help them grow.
So it's like scaling up that Inovexus model.
Yeah.
Creating this big network effect.
Where everyone's invested in each other's success.
And the startups get more capital and support.
Exactly.
It's pretty brilliant.
It is.
Okay, so they're expanding geographically.
Yep.
They're launching this new fund. But how else is Inovexus innovating?
Well, they're also investing a lot in technology,
Oh, okay. Like what?
AI-powered tools to
Awesome.
streamline deal flow,
Okay.
help match startups with the right investors,
Uh-huh.
and provide data-driven insights.
So it's all about using data to make better decisions.
Exactly. Imagine a platform
Yeah.
that can analyze tons of data to find the best startups and connect them with the perfect investors.
That's like a supercharged matchmaking service
Yeah.
for the startup world.
And it's powered by AI.
Wow.
So they're not just stopping at tech. They're also
Yeah.
moving into new areas,
Oh, like what?
like corporate finance,
Okay.
helping startups with things like mergers and acquisitions, strategic partnerships.
So they're really becoming a one-stop shop for startups.
Yeah, that's the goal, providing support at every stage.
So zooming out a bit,
Okay.
what does all this mean for the future of venture capital?
I think Inovexus is really at the forefront
Yeah.
of a huge shift in how venture capital works.
How so?
They're challenging the old model,
Okay.
those exclusive funds.
Right.
They're making it more accessible, more transparent,
Yeah.
more community-driven.
And their success shows that this new approach works.
It does. They're showing the world
Yeah.
that venture capital can be more inclusive,
Okay.
more impactful, and more successful for everyone.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
It's like they're building a movement
Yeah, more than just a company.
towards a better way of funding innovation.
Exactly.
This has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
I'm really impressed with Inovexus.
Yeah.
Their ambition, their model, their commitment to a better future.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just playing the game.
Nope.
They're changing it.
They are.
And for anyone listening,
Yeah.
whether you're an entrepreneur,
Uh-huh.
an investor,
Or just someone who believes in innovation.
I think it's worth checking out Inovexus,
I agree.
seeing how you can be a part of this.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up,
Okay.
I'm feeling really optimistic about the future of venture capital.
Me too.
Inovexus is showing us
Yeah.
that a more inclusive, community-driven approach
Mm-hmm.
can unlock so much potential.
It can.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Of course.
And until next time, keep diving deep.